it's Jane here, and I'm coming to you at the end of a very, very chilly November afternoon up at the plot, because for the last 2 weeks we've been secret squirreling up here to build ourselves a fruit cage. So as it is, you can see it's already been done. So we're going to go back in time in a minute and I'll show you the process we went through. But just to put it in context a bit, some time ago I did a bit of a question and answer session, and Nick, lovely Nick from Nick's Allotment, if you haven't been there, go and say hi. It's a lovely, lovely man. His question was, what do we do to protect our fruit organically? And I don't know what I was thinking really. I said really we grow enough fruit to supply ourselves and also the local wildlife. So, it wasn't too much of an issue. I wasn't going to go around, certainly wasn't going to go around using chemicals or anything like that. And as a result, instead of eating fruit this summer, I ended up eating my words, because there's blackbirds and other creatures just absolutely loved the gooseberries. To be honest, I thought gooseberries and currants and things were pretty much exempt from the birds because they're so thorny. But oh no, ours love them. So we've been looking around for a fruit cage and asking around various people for recommendations. Somebody mentioned, or a couple of people mentioned actually, a company called Gardening Naturally. And so I approached those and they've really, really kindly allowed us to put up and use one of their fruit cages. So yeah, it looks a bit odd at the minute because it's got no net on, and it's like a skeleton if you like, but I'll explain that at the end why. But what I'm going to do today is show you the process that we've been through and try and give you an honest review of how we think the build has gone, how we think the instructions were, how easy it was to follow, and what we think of the overall quality. But I think you can tell by now I'm smiling, I'm pretty pleased. So let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so if I can just show you, these are the 2 beds that we're hoping to cover with the fruit cage. It looks dull now, but the fact is it's about 2:30 in the middle of November and the sun is practically setting over in that direction. But you've got to think that when your plants are fruiting, it's going to be May, June, July, August, and the sun is overhead this plot for, well, the majority of the day. So it's going to be a fine place to grow things. Currently, and you can see, pardon the pun, currently you can see we have got it full of a tangle of strawberries and a mixture of summer and autumn fruiting raspberries. These are all going to be moved, and I'll come back to you at the end because I want your advice as to what you would grow in the cage as and when we get it built. Okay, let's open the box. This is your frame. Wow. Okay, so hold on, let me put a knife where I won't accidentally chop my foot off. Let's get one of the smaller bits. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Right, so they're the poles. I've got to say, already I can't get into that, I need my knife back. They look fairly substantial. 23mm, I think, but I have to go back and get my knife. I'm going to unpack all of these and then we're going to take a look and hopefully find some instructions as to how we're going to put it together, because there's quite a lot of poles. Okay, if I can show you these so far, we haven't unwrapped the poles yet, although they're there as you can see. If you have a look at the brackets, the hinges, the door corners, all of these things, they're really impressive, I wasn't quite expecting them to be that impressive, but they are hard, heavyweight things. If I just show you, for example, again, this is the bit that is the for the cross brace that goes across the centre of the cage, I'm assuming. And look at that. That is a pretty good piece of kit. So yeah, very impressed with the quality of the components so far. The components, but it is going a bit dark, so I'm not quite sure about how much we're going to have to do today. But we'll see how far we get. Okay, and there we have it, all present and correct. I can't stress how important it is to make sure you've got all the bits present before you get started, because there's nothing like getting partway through a job and having to stop because there's a missing piece. So yeah, all present and correct, all lined up. All I need now are the instructions and a mic. Okay, I've got one of those things. I've got the instructions. First thing it says is to make sure your ground is flat and level. Well, we've done that because we had to do it before we put the raised beds in, so we know that's okay. And then step one, if I can just show you a little bit closer, push the 4 corner joiners, 4 T-joiners and 1 cross joiner onto the 9 uprights, which are the 2.2 metre poles, as per diagram. And there's the diagram. Okay, let's see if we can give it a go. What do you reckon, Mike? Are they easy enough to put on?
Really easy, yeah.
Yeah?
So they just slot straight on.
Yeah.
You don't even have to loosen them off actually.
Yeah.
So it's just a question of pushing these onto the corners.
Yeah.
And just hand tightening.
Yeah.
Very quick.
That's good.
So there's 3 done already. So very, very simple. Really nicely engineered.
That's your central bit. I mean, again, look at the quality of that. That goes in the centre, believe it or not, of your cage, and that is going to hold the rest of the crossbars. And yeah, it is. That is so easy. Even for a gammy old left-hander like myself. Yeah. I'm not going to tighten that too much at the moment, but that's just holding that in place. Okay, so that's your crossbar done. And then, last one of these. Just check I've got that the right way. Yeah, fine. I mean, you can tighten these with your hands. They're all ready for you to do. So, quite impressed I can do it. Bet you are as well. Mike is. Okay, that's it. Okay, this next bit's going to be fun. Position and push the 2.2 metre, which are those uprights, into the ground for 300 millimetres, which is about, in old school, a foot. Okay, so I'm hoping that our ground is going to be nice and soft. I think there's going to be a little bit of digging going on. In my typical way, I'm not using string here like they say, so this is on me, because the sides of the beds I'm hoping are straight, but I am using, also I haven't got my tape measure with me, so I'm using this, my spirit level, but for a different reason, and that it's measured out in 90s, so I'm going to be adding up in 90 centimetres along here, all the way up to 400. So wish me luck, it'll be as accurate as I can get it. Okay, I'm using, to mark each 90, I'm using a knife. You know, you have to make do and mend, don't you? So, 90, 180, oopsie, 270, 360, and 400. Another 40. What can go wrong? Once again, as when you do anything at this time of year in the garden, you really are racing against time for daylight hours. It's not even 3 o'clock yet, and as you can see, that sun is about to say goodnight. So we better crack on. Well, I'm hoping you can see we've got all the uprights in now. And this is where measuring properly would have been good. Would have been really good to have a right angle at some point, but I don't think we've got one. But anyway, these uprights are all in now. They've gone in absolutely brilliantly. And what we're doing now is just starting to put these crossbars in and hoping that as the crossbars go in, they are going to pull it straight. So the light is going. So hopefully we'll get these crossbars in before it goes completely dark. And there we have it. There we have. We've got the uprights in. We've got the crossbars in. It's actually been really, really straightforward to do. I mean, you know, there's 2 of us, which has made a big difference. And we have yet to finish. We have got to put the door in and get the net on. But as I said before, the light is going now, so I think we're going to have to pack up for today and come back. It'll probably be next weekend when we can get it finished. But what do you think of it so far, Mike?
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah?
It's been really easy to put together.
Yeah, yeah.
I think for a couple of dafties like us, you know, and it needs a bit of straightening out, and I think we need to reposition a few of the poles, but really simple.
Straightforward,
really
isn't
straightforward.
it? Really pleased with it?
Yeah, it feels dead sturdy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, time will tell. We'll see if it's still here next weekend and we'll come and finish it off. Well, we're back again 1 week later, and good news is the fruit cage is still standing up. And what's more, it looks like it's been there forever, so really, really thrilled with that. And all we've got to do now is put these little blighters together, which is basically the door kit, which really would be a lot simpler if we hadn't been and gone and lost the instructions. So it's going to be a little bit of making it up as we go along here, but really, what can go wrong? Okay, it'd be much nicer if I didn't have soggy cardboard that I was kneeling on here, but this is where we've got to put the door together. So it looks fairly straightforward. We've got 2 long bits and 2 short bits, and each of those is just going to be joined. Sorry, Mike's just going past the camera there. Bit of a wobble. Each of those is going to be joined with one of these corner posts, just like we did on the frame. So they just need attaching with Allen keys. Anyway, so we're going to put those on, but before we put our door frame together, we're going to have to choose one of the uprights. I choose this one to slot these onto, because these are going to be, I don't know, would this bit side be the hinge? The large hole obviously is where the post is going to go through. The small hole is going to have a corresponding bit that goes into it, so that'll attach to the frame, And once that's attached to the frame, you've got your door, you put it the right way up, and that should sit on there like so. So we need to make sure before we put the door together that we put these onto it, and all it means, nothing needs tightening up or anything as yet, that we're just going to slot those 1, 2, 3 on there, and then we can put the frame together. Ta-da! Door frame is done. What we've got to do now is attach a post to this crossbar at the top that this side of the door frame is then going to sit into. So what I'm going to have to do, let's get that out of the way. It's been quite interesting working it out without the instructions, you know, because it's dead straightforward. I'm going to have to undo this one. Oh, let's see, because I need to take this off to slot this piece on. Okay, so I can then put my doorpost in that. Bob's your uncle. Okay. Okay, so here's the, can you see that? It's difficult to get it all on, but basically it's a doorpost. Right, and these are the bits I was talking about that are going to go that way up, Jane. That's the only spec here. Make sure they're the right way up, otherwise your door's just going to fall off. Onto the top of here before. Now these are all just going to slide down, aren't they? But I'm going to put them on now, and then I'll measure exactly where this needs to be to get the door on properly. Right way up, Jane, yes. Oh, that one's not going on, just needs undoing there. That one on. Have you noticed Mike's not doing anything? Now the problem here, of course, is this is going to be too long, isn't it? Yeah, I hadn't thought this through. So I'm going to have to measure before I put this in. Here we go, we're living and learning again. We're going to have to measure it in. Mike's putting me off.
Sorry.
Measure. Knock it in a little bit and then we can put it on, because clearly all the other posts are in about, well, 6 to 8 inches. So, okay, let's measure where this needs to be now. And the way I'm going to do that, dead straightforward, I'm going to get my door. I'm not going to use a tape measure. Oh no. Check that's the right way around. I want to have it against that side of the frame because, it's sitting on the post now, because I want to be able to put a hinge on there. So I know that that is going to have to go about there. Let's just check. If I move that post out of the way, it'd make it easier for myself. There we are. Yeah. So that's where I want that to be. Mike's waiting with the wheelbarrow in the wings. Children, animals and Mike. That's what you shouldn't work with. Okay, right. Let's work this post problem out. Okay, when that is... Actually, I was going to say when that's right, we can just slot it in. Actually, it needs to go down a little bit more, so I'm just going to tap this bit. Perfect. Next bit. Okay, so the post has been malleted and manhandled and is now nice and firm in the ground, and all it is now, a little bit wonky, it's fine. All it is now is a bit about, you've got wonky beds as well, so it all matches in, is, yeah, tighten these up, roughly get them where you want to be. In fact, I'll do that first. I really want to have one. There'll be a thing in the instructions telling you exactly where to put them, I'm sure. But if I have one halfway, and then halfway between that and the top, so basically a quarter, a half and 3/4, roughly. What do you think, Mike? Is that? Ask Mike's opinion.
I think it looks absolutely perfect, apart from
It's wonky.
sticking out quite a bit at the bottom.
Yeah, that's fine though. That's fine. Right, okay, so I'm just going to wind this up. I like doing this. It's just really rewarding when it just, you get to the last bit and you can really, really tighten it up really nicely. You know, you're not going to damage the poles, I hope. Right, and next one's down there. I'll come back when they're done. Okay, I've got the doorpost in now, exactly where I want it. I've put the hingy bits, as I say, like quarter, half and 3/4 of the way down the post. And now all I've got to do, she says all I've got to do, is try and hook these 3 other bits on, and then hopefully it will all line up and I can tighten them up. There's a lot of finger and toe crossing going on at this point, but I've got 2 on. Have I got 2 on? Almost got 2 on. And if that one can just go in there, oh, wouldn't that be lovely? Not going to though. I'm going to have to pull it slightly. You can't see this on the camera, but there we go. Look at that. They've actually gone on. They've actually done what they're supposed to do. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so good. Look at that. We've got a door. Oh. So here we have it. Again, probably only about 3 o'clock, just like last week. There's the sun going down. But we have got ourselves a really substantial, fantastic fruit frame. And if I look over here, someone's standing by. Would you like to come in, Mike?
No, I'm happy here.
What do you think of it?
I think it's really sturdy.
Yeah, yeah.
Really good. I think it's very, very straightforward putting it together.
Yeah.
I think we've got a few little
bits and pieces
just to level out, because we're not the best in the world at getting everything. Well,
do things by eye.
We tend to do things by eye, and we lose instructions halfway through.
We did lose the instructions, but you know what? It didn't matter, because it is just so straightforward. And I did say this was going to be quite an honest review about putting something together, and I think we pretty much say what we think most of the time. But I've got to say, I'm really impressed. We're not going to put the netting on now. We're going to wait till spring, because it just seems a bit daft, sort of like we're a bit tempting fate really if we put it on before high winds and all that. But the netting itself that we got with the frame just seems really good quality. There's some zip ties, there are some proper clamps to put it on with, there's some ground pegs. So yeah, come spring we'll put that on and we'll show you what it's like then. But yeah, I'd certainly recommend Gardening Naturally. I'll put links to them underneath, and you can visit. Sorry, I thought there was an owl over there. It's a stuffed bird. No, it's Sheila's wooden. It is an owl, but it's a wooden owl. There is an owl sitting on a water tank. I'm a little bit confused there. Yeah, I'll put a link to Gardening Naturally underneath, and I've got to say, you know, the customer service as well was absolutely fantastic. So if you are looking for something, you know, if you want something that's just going to last a year or two, or you're moving around, you might not want to invest in one like this, but this is going to last us a good long time, I think. And I
think it's going to last longer than we will.
It probably will at this rate.
I think short of getting scaffolding poles, this is about as good as it gets.
It is, yeah, it feels really sturdy. So time will tell. We're going to be re-planning, you can't see from where it is, I'll come back to this another time, but mapping the inside of the cage so we can get more stuff in. And obviously now the door frame's here, we're walking straight into a strawberry bed, so all that's going to have to be done, but we'll come back to it another time. But I think for now, the sun's going down again, isn't it?
It is.
Are you cold?
No, I'm okay. Are you cold?
Yes, because, well, Mike's been lugging wheelbarrows of wood chippings, so he's probably a little bit warmer than
I think the tea and the biscuit call. The
tea and the biscuit call, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe. There's a subscribe button somewhere here, and press the bell so you know when the videos are coming up, because some people have said they're not getting notifications, and YouTube does it every now and then. You have to sort of redo your settings. So yeah, come along to the Facebook page, come and say hi on Instagram. It'd be really nice to see you. But for now, we're two happy gardeners with a lovely, lovely fruit cage. So we'll say goodbye for now. Bye.
Bye.
Got the pigeon saying goodbye as well. Oh, it's a crow.